Look, if you really want to be wealthy, it's gonna have to start in your mind, and more specifically, your subconscious mind. Because most people are really looking for certain tactics and strategies online to make an extra buck or to actually become really wealthy. However, you gotta understand that every single person has an imprint on their subconscious mind that happens between ages 0 to 7, okay? Your mind is very suggestible at that point in time just because it's learning and adapting to get a lot of programs installed that are gonna allow your mind to survive, or allow you to survive more specifically, right? So those programs are installed to be able to move away from pain and move towards pleasure. And the reason for that is because that is hardwired in your subconscious, hardwired in your nervous system to move away from pain and towards pleasure. And the reason for that is because your brain's primary objective is to make you survive. And it has kind of made a compass to survive by using those pain and pleasure things and signals to be able to move towards survival, if that makes sense. Okay, so you move away from pain towards pleasure. But you got to understand that this is a subconscious program that is installed in every single area of your life. Okay, and so if you don't check in with your subconscious mind and your belief systems that you've gotten from your past about wealth, about money, about relationships, about girls, etc., then you're always going to be fighting yourself, okay? Because what I see most is that new entrepreneurs and stuff like that, or people that I coach that have already gotten to 8 figures but are trying to move beyond that, is that they're really trying to attack their goal, if they're having resistance, as the person that they currently are, okay? And that is never going to fucking work, because the person that you currently are would have already achieved those goals, because your mind is so damn powerful that we've been able to do some crazy shit like the damn pyramids, moon, etc., right? And your mind will be able to achieve anything if it's fully aligned to it, okay? That's why you hear those stories of mothers that are able to lift a car when their child is under it, because their brain has so much leverage that they unleash power like a motherly instinct, right? But you want to do this for you and how this is applicable for you and your wealth and in your business and in your life, okay? So the steps to really uncover this and to really make this happen for yourself is to, first of all, check in with yourself. Like, hey, goal that I currently have, is there any resistance towards getting to this goal? And let's say that we're talking about money, right? So you want to get to this money level. What resistance do I have and what is that about, okay? So the main reason that you're not going there is because there's a belief system that you picked up in your childhood about something, or there's some unmet need or unmet value that you think that is going to be unmet or is going to be lowered down if you get to that point B, if you get to that goal, right? So you want to really check in by this goal. So let's say that you want to get to 10 grand a month. And on the one hand, consciously, you think, okay, this is going to be great because I'm going to be able to really, get more money, and that is going to give me more freedom. I'm going to be able to give back to my friends and family and stuff like that. But let's say that subconsciously, meaning you're not aware of it right now until, we're starting to ask these questions and really focus on it. You're really thinking like, dude, I want to get there, but at the same time, I think that if I start making that money, then, my old friends are going to reject me, or people are going to hate on me, say that I'm a scammer, stuff like that. And you've picked up that belief maybe in your childhood, right? Because people hated on, people that were rich, or it could even be later on, right? It could even be later on that a buddy of yours did it and he got hated on. So now you don't want to move there, move there as well, because you built a painful and negative association towards that. And that negative association exceeds the positive association that you have to the goal. The only real reason that you're not achieving your goal is because you associate more negative feelings to it than positive feelings. That's the real reason that you're holding yourself back. Okay, so the way to find this out and then really shift it is, first of all, bring that into your awareness, become aware of the program that is limiting you, and then update that software. And how you do that is by reframing it, okay? A belief system, a limiting belief, is all that holds you back, really. And an unconscious limiting belief is what really holds you back because you're not aware of it, so you can't really work with it. But then step one is we make that limiting belief conscious. Now that we're conscious of it, we can reshape and reframe this belief into something that is workable for us, right? So let's say with the example about being successful, becoming hated, etc. Now we can reframe that in the sense that that hate is not about us, it's about them. Or what we can look at is actually examples of people becoming successful and being more loved instead of hated, okay? So now we're gonna have examples that contradict the old limiting belief system, And now we're gonna build a new empowering belief system by using examples. A lot of people talk about affirmations. All that stuff's great because you're reminding yourself of the right belief systems. However, it usually doesn't really build a certainty, because how a belief system is actually built is through an example, is through experiences. It's like a tabletop that is the belief system, and then it's upheld by these legs that are the experiences that represent that that belief is true. Okay? So if you give it a contradicting experience, you're starting to slash those legs and build a new table. Okay, so that's step number 2. Then you have an empowering belief system. And step number 3 is to really focus on that belief system and implement that and move towards that and start layering more positive associations towards the goal, building new positive belief systems, empowering belief systems that allow you to move towards it. Okay, so it does give me more love, it does give me more money, it does give me more freedom, all positive associations. And if we're talking about money, you really want to find out if there's any other limiting beliefs and do the same process and then just make positive associations, right? So the simplest example to really boil this down that I can give you is, let's say that you were bit by a dog when you were 4 years old, okay? And let's say that when that happened, you weren't aware of it, right? Like you don't even remember it, but now that you're 22 or whatever, you're afraid of dogs, okay? And you don't know why. Well, it's because you were bit once when, you didn't remember. However, if you just go back to that event and relive it, or if you just start, so you have one very big negative association to dogs, painful association, avoid dogs, because your brain said to yourself like, hey, I got bit by a dog, I need to avoid that at all costs because that is going to reduce my survivability, right? Because obviously it's painful. Now, if you want to change that, the simplest way to do that is start very small and start layering more positive associations than you have negative. Okay. Now, negatives always are more powerful because your primary objective is to survive and to, survive. So to avoid pain. However, if you lay like 3 times as many positive associations, now your brain will shift that dynamic like a weighing scale, going dogs, painful associations weighs heavy, positive associations are here, but then you start moving those things and now it's all of a sudden gone into the different direction. And now you have the positive weighs more heavy and the negative is almost gone or it's up there and it washes away by the positive ones, like water over it washes it away. That's really how you do that. And the same thing applies with money, same thing applies with relationships, same thing applies with anything in your life that you really have a resistance to. It is a mixed association of both positive and negative in your subconscious mind. And if you start laying more positives and deleting and reframing the negatives, you'll start moving towards it like a rocket, okay? So apply that today. Leave a like if this really helped you out. Leave a comment if you have a question and subscribe for the next one. And I will see you very soon.